Hello guys and guys, and welcome back to another tutorial here on Tuesdays. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make fancy looking text in After Effects, which can be used for all sorts of things. Mainly, I've been starting to use them for my intros, 2D intros, so I thought I'd go ahead and show you how I made some of the text that I made for, I think, both No Boom and Creeper Farts. I use this technique. Comes out looking pretty good, and I'm really satisfied with how the text looks because it looks very fancy. So anyways, you're going to want to open up Photoshop. I'm using CC, but of course you can use pretty much any version. And I'm just going to go ahead and create a new document here. So I'm going to name it fancy texts. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make it pretty wide because text is, you know, fairly wide, I guess you would say. So I'm gonna go about 4,000. Always go big because, you know what, why not? And 500. That seems like it should be pretty wide enough to fit some fancy text. And then you can just go ahead and click OK. So with that all said and done, it's gonna go ahead and create our canvas here, and we can get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the text tool right here. Go ahead and click. Make my text nice and big. I don't know. Gotta type something first. Oh. Click once, not drag. Okay. So I'm gonna type in some text, and I'm gonna kind of get it sized right. Okay. So that looks pretty interesting. The font will have to change. I think I used Molot. Yeah, I used Molot for a lot of my stuff. So I like how Molot looks. It looks pretty cool. If you guys are interested, you can go ahead and click over here. If you don't have this, I think it should be under Window, and it should be under Character, yeah. So you can go to Window and Character if this isn't here, but go ahead and click on that. I'm going to un-italicize it. I know someone was asking how you italicize font. Well, that would be how. You can also bold. I don't think it looks too good bolded. And then you can do small caps. So if I type lowercase, it'll make it all small, capital. You can make it like superscript, subscript, underline, all that fancy stuff, strike through. You get the point. So you can do it all here. It's pretty nice. You can, you know, change some cool stuff. You can make it flat. I don't know. Crazy stuff. I know. Revolutionary. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tweak it just a little bit. So I'll just get it the right size here, and we can go ahead and start making things look fancy. I might want to actually make it say something here. Hold on. Let's have it say fancy text, yo. Alright. Totally legit. Alright. Anyways, let's go ahead and select that, and we'll make it a nice white. I like to go white. Lighter colors usually work better for this. You can go any sort of color, actually. You can just go over here and just cycle through the colors. Want to be green, blue, whatever. But I'm gonna showcase something with the color a little bit later after we add all the fancy sort of effects to it. So go ahead and accept that there. You can play around with different fonts. Defont.com is usually a good place to get it. Bold text is better for this sort of thing. If you get like fancy cursive looking stuff, it's not gonna come out as great. Anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead, right click on here, go to blending modes, and I'm just gonna go ahead and like I said with pretty much all my tutorials, if you want to come out with something unique and cool, just play around with stuff, and that's pretty much what I did to find out this technique. By no means follow my instructions or my effects exactly. I mean, just play around with it, because that's how some of the most amazing things are found in life. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and add a stroke here. I'm gonna select that and click on the thing. If you want to go to it and enable it, just don't click the check mark, click the actual thing, and yeah, just follow that. If you don't get what I mean, it's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a nice border to it with the stroke. I'm not gonna make it straight black. I'm gonna make it a little bit off black. I'm gonna make it like light, or not light gray, some dark gray, kind of like that. And opacity, yet again, play around with it. I might want to do inside. No, that looks horrible. Alright. Center? That doesn't look half bad, actually. I'll just do outside. Actually, center looks nice. See what I mean, guys? It's all about figuring out outside. I can't make up my mind. Whatever, pick something. And then I like to go to my drop shadow. Drop shadow is something I like to add to pretty much anything I do in Photoshop, no matter what it is. Thumbnails, you name it. That drop shadow will be there. But anyways, notice how the drop shadow, it kind of fades out, but the edge is so close. Like, you don't know when you save this, the drop shadow is gonna get cut off at the edge there. It's gonna get cut off. So what I like to do is just leave that real quick, and then go to my image, and then canvas size, and then just you might not have relative checked, but if you want to add to your current canvas, you can click relative, and then just add some. Right now I'm worried about the height cutting off some of the drop shadow, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add 500. That should be a good buffer. Yeah. And then if you're also concerned about the edges right here getting cut off, then you can, I mean, it's all about caution. So let's just go canvas size, and we'll add some width. I'll just add 100. So there you go. Get a nice buffer area just in case you your drop shadow runs into the border. Anyways, let's go back here and play around some more. So that looks about right there. Anyways, now is for the signature piece of resistance, whatever you want to call it. I like to grab my gradient, and I like to push these two together and kind of create that sharp line gradient right here. You can click and drag it and position it wherever you want. I usually go about center. And then what I go ahead and do is lower the opacity until it looks nice and fancy. So 50 actually works good. You want to make it darker than you actually want it to be. I want it to be like right here, but you're gonna make it darker, and for this reason we're gonna go ahead and go to inner glow, and this is why we made it darker. We're gonna bump up the size a little bit on the inner glow, and we're gonna maybe mess with the opacity, but that's why the inner glow kind of softens it down, so it's not as extreme of a gradient. So now we got that all covered. It looks pretty nice. You can do a few more things. You can actually add like an inner shadow. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe look at that. Looks like it's indented or something. Oh, you can actually move it around. I had no idea. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. You can add some sort of texture. Gosh, that looks kind of interesting. Bevel emboss was automatically enabled when I click texture, so you can mess around with this as well. Maybe get some beveling going. I don't even know. Depth, whoa. See, it's all about figuring stuff out. Anyways, I'm just gonna get rid of that right now. So anyways, there you go. You can mess around with the stroke color actually. I'm gonna make it maybe a little bit darker. Alright, so that's pretty much that. But what you're gonna want to do now is that if you want to change the color, you can still do it. So grab your text tool and then click and highlight. So I want to make each of these a different color to kind of show you guys it carries over. Although you may notice that the whatchamacallit, the inner glow is a little bit too extreme. It's kind of knocking out most of the color. So you can go back and change that. It's little things like these that kind of show you if you need to change something. So I'm gonna go back to that inner glow, and I might actually, can I move that around like the drop shadow? I don't think I can. So I'm just gonna kind of maybe tone down some of the stuff here. Or I could play with the blending mode actually. Maybe something along the lines of, I don't know, just keep clicking down, see what looks good. No, nothing looks good. Alright. Except for, I don't know. Kind of messing around with blending modes is one of my, it's not a pet peeve. I actually like messing around with blending modes. It's fun. But I think that one looks the best. Yeah, overlay. Overlay seems to be doing the trick. Anyways, I might want to lower the gradient. I mean, after you add the colors, definitely shows you if stuff needs to be changed, you know? Maybe lower the size of the glow. And there you go, you're left with some pretty nice looking text. Go ahead and change these to other colors. I'm gonna make fancy yellow, because bling bling, you know? and then maybe make this green or something. I don't know. Nice green. Yeah, fancy text, yo. Anyways, that's that. If you've also watched some of my speed shows and some of my intros, you also notice that on I think No Booms, I actually tilted the text and did some crazy stuff with it. So to do that, basically what you want to do is you want to convert this to a smart object. And now what that did is that it basically, if you know what pre-composing is in After Effects, that's pretty much what that is. If you double click the icon right here, it brings you into that sort of pre-comp, if you want to call it that, and there's our text layer. It's nested within, and when we make changes to this, like I take away the stroke and go back here, well, you don't see it's updated. You have to go back here and actually do save. You actually have to go ahead and save this and then it'll update in this one. So it's kind of like pre-composing, and I only found out about this like a short little bit ago, and I'm really liking it, and I'm having a blast using them. But anyways, we're gonna want to take all these effects and put them outside of the pre-comp because we want to work just the text. So we're basically going to right click here, and we're going to copy that layer style. We're going to disable these for now, so it's just the raw text. And then we're going to paste the layer style on here. We're going to save the changes so it's not double. And there you go. Your stuff, your effects have been moved outside. And now you just got your text right here. And from here, it's just as simple as I'm going to duplicate it just in case I don't like what I've done. And I have a backup. This is my backup right here. I hid it because I don't want it, showing up. But we're gonna want to select this one, and we're gonna rotate these text layers or stuff. So to rotate it and transform it, we have to rasterize the type first, and now we can just go crazy with the selection tool, and we can just ooh, that's gonna be a pain. Let me get the lasso tool actually, so I can. I haven't used the lasso tool in a while. Ooh. All right. So now you can just hit Control T, and you can rotate away. And I think you guys get the picture. I'll just do the first, and I'll just do every other one, just for sake of example here. Ooh, cut it close to the C there. I don't know if I clipped it. I might have clipped it. Just kind of go every other one here, and yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the E here, because you know what? Why not? Ooh, lasso tool can be tricky. Okay, text. I don't know. This process is kind of up to you, actually. I mean, it doesn't make it too big of a difference, but if you wanna really sell the effect of some weird looking text, you can go ahead and rotate these. I'm sure there's other I'm sure there's other stuff you can do within this sort of pre-comp. I'm just gonna call it a pre-comp from now on, because that's pretty much what it is in my eyes, being an After Effects junkie. But yeah, you can do all sorts of things. You can maybe draw on it. I don't even know what is that. I don't know. So I'm just gonna save that. That's just for sake of example, I guess. And oh god, that looks horrible. So you see it updates. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. So now I see it updates, and the text is all like jumbled and stuff. So I don't know, do what you want with it, but that's pretty much how I make the fancy texts. You can go ahead and go crazy with this stuff, figure out new stuff. Let me go ahead and bring that down. It's a little bit strong. Another cool thing you can do is actually add sort of like depth to it by let me just show you how to do that. You take your text layer and you just duplicate it, and then on the one on the bottom you actually just take off all the effects except for I think the stroke. Yeah, something like that. And then basically you want to rasterize it, and from there what you can do is pull up levels by hitting Control L on your keyboard or going up here to Image, Adjustment, and then Levels. Basically making all of it black, and hit Control T and just drag it down a little bit right there. And there you get some nice depth to your text. I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know. It's definitely up to you, but I think that does look mighty cool. One other thing that I did, I think, with No Booms was that I added another. Hold on, what was it? It was, oh, that's what it was. Okay, so we're gonna have to pre-comp or smart object it yet again. We nest that, and now we get to start fresh with new blending mode options. And so now I can add another drop shadow, although this won't be a drop shadow, it'll be an inner shadow. And basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna fake here, you'll see what I mean in a second. So I'm gonna make that going straight down, and you'll start to see it come in from the top there. I will make the size all the way up. Okay. So I'll basically drag that down, and then what we'll do is we'll make this let's see, we'll go to normal, and then we'll make this, let's say, gosh, ooh, that looks that looks kind of cool. Hold on, let me turn that down. Let me try changing the blending mode. I'm going for, like, maybe that could create like a shiny look. That might actually even fake like snow on top of it, you know. Going through here. Ooh, yeah, that kind of creates like a nice shining effect on soft light or hard light even. Hard light kind of, ooh. This is what I mean by kind of experiment around. Yeah, that does look pretty nice. Either right there or right here. And I'll just bring down the opacity. Yeah. So, definitely, like I said a million times before, experiment around. I think I found myself some cool looking effects here, and you know, you can touch up some of the stuff like down here by moving some of your effects, like your stroke. Let me just move that. So you disable it here, save of course, and you go back here and you just add your stroke over here instead. So I'll add my stroke. What was it? I forgot what we did for the stroke. Let me just I'll just undo it for now, but for sake of example, you get what I mean. Anyways, that does look rather cool. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack that like button down below. It lets me know that you found this very useful. Also, make sure to share all your philosophical comments down below, so I know what you guys are thinking about this tutorial. Did it help you? Did it not help you? What's up? Is there something I need to clarify on? Anything like that. And you know, share with your friends, because odds are if you found it helpful, your friend will as well, and that'd be awesome if I could help two people in one. Anyways, all that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to make some fancy looking text in Photoshop. And yep, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out. Photoshop. I'm using CC, but of course you can use pretty much any version. And I'm just gonna go ahead and create a new document here. So I'm gonna name it fancy texts. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make it pretty wide, because text is, you know, fairly wide, I guess you would say. So I'm gonna go about 4,000. Always go big, because you know what? Why not? And 500. That seems like it should be pretty wide enough to fit some fancy size font. Well, that would be how. You can also bold. I don't think it looks too good bolded. And then you can do small caps. So if I type lowercase, it'll make it all small, capital. You can make it like superscript, subscript, underline, all that fancy stuff, strike through. you get the point. So you can do it all here. It's pretty nice. You can, you know, change some cool stuff. You can make it flat. I don't know, crazy stuff. I know, revolutionary. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tweak it just a little. It's pretty interesting. The font will have to change. I think I used Molot. Yeah, I used Molot for a lot of my stuff, so I like how Molot looks. It looks pretty cool. If you guys are interested, you can go ahead and click over here. If you don't have this, I think it should be under Window, and it should be under Character, yeah. So you can go to Window and Character if this isn't here, but go ahead and click on that. I'm going to unitalicize it. I know someone was asking how you italic text. And then you can just go ahead and click OK. So, with that all said and done, it's going to go ahead and create our canvas here, and we can get started. So, I'm going to go ahead and select the text tool right here. Go ahead and click, make my text nice and big. I don't know, gotta type something first. Oh. Click once, not drag. Okay, so I'm going to type in some text, and I'm going to kind of get it sized right. Okay, so it looks. Hello guys and guys, and welcome back to another tutorial here on Tuesdays. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make fancy looking text in After Effects, which can be used for all sorts of things. Mainly, I've been starting to use them for my intros, 2D intros, so I thought I'd go ahead and show you how I made some of the text that I made for, I think, both No Boom and Creeper Farts. I use this technique. Comes out looking pretty good, and I'm really satisfied with how the text looks because it looks very fancy. So anyways, you're going to want to open up